Today I'm going to show you how to do bike setup. So this is Sam, and I'm going to actually set up the bike for her. So first of all, we start with our seat height. That's the first step in the four-step process for setup. So Sam, I'm going to have you stand next to the bike and just lift up your inside leg to hip height. So this is the first place I go to get a guesstimate of where her seat height should be. The seat is sitting a little higher than her hip, so I'm going to go ahead and lower it down. So I simply unscrew, pull the pin, and drop it down. Once it clicks in, I will tighten the knob back up. All right, go ahead and hop on. So I'm going to have her hop on the bike and start pedaling. What I'm looking for is the degree of bend in her knee at the bottom of the pedal stroke. She actually has clips on her shoes, so she's clipping into the pedals. So what I'm looking for is a 25 to 30 degree bend in her knee at the bottom of the pedal stroke. So I will have you stop, Sam, and we are just looking at dead bottom center, which is straight down at 6 o'clock here. And I'm looking at the angle from her hip to her knee to her ankle. And I am thinking that is a pretty darn good angle. So we want to make sure we learn how to eyeball that angle. We don't want the leg too straight, we don't want her reaching for the pedal, and we don't want too deep of a bend here at the knee joint. So the next setting I'm going to do for her is her fore and aft of her seat. So what I'm going to have you do, Sam, is bring your feet up to 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the pedal stroke. And I am looking to see if the widest part of her foot is balancing right under her kneecap. So to do this, I grab a plumb line. You can take any string, shoelace, and just tie a washer, a heavy washer on the end of it. And what I do is I hold it right at her knee, and I hope that it actually balances right over the widest part of her foot. It's just teetering a little close, so I would bring your seat forward I would bring your seat back just a smidge. So I'm going to have you hop off the bike, come off the bike, because we never want to adjust people on the bike. And I unscrew. Slide it back a teensy bit. Now let's try that. So I'll have you clip back in. I'm going to recheck her fore and aft on her seat. Right at the knee. And actually, I need to bring her back a little bit more. How does that feel?
Feels good.
Does it?
I would, yeah, move it back just a little.
We're going to go back one more. So you might have to do this a couple of times, just depending on the person, just depending on the bike. Also knowing that every bike fits a little bit differently. So if I went and I set Sam up on another bike, I would probably, the adjustments might be a little bit different. All right, let's go ahead with that. As far as her handlebar height, which is the next setting I do, I typically take the height one level higher than what her seat is at. So this bike actually has numbers on it. She is actually at a 5 for seat height. So I will actually bring her probably, just for safety purposes, to a 7 for handlebar height. If Sam was new to cycling, I actually would probably leave these handlebars up in the 10-11 position because we want to keep them more upright and more straight to protect their back. There we go. And then her fore and aft, I typically will measure her elbow to the front of the handlebars. So I'm going to just go ahead and measure that. And just go ahead and start spinning. I'm also looking for a slight bend. So my instinct is telling me I'm going to bring her bars back just a teensy tiny bit. Just so she's comfortable. How does that feel?
Feels great.
You look good.